Are we on? Okay, awesome. Yay. Oh my gosh, you guys, what a awesome March we had. Like seriously. March was so ridiculous and the momentum and the excitement, and I love that corporate is moving that in April. The excitement's not over. We still have an awesome month. We've got bonuses keeping up. We've got makeup trunk with guys. Anybody can earn that trunk. That trunk is awesome. You want that trunk. 10 kudos. Like seriously. It's really not that hard. Break it up into like
Can be hot, Grace.
3 a week. Sell 3 kudos a week. You've got the kit or the trunk. It's so awesome. And Brittany and I have teamed up. She is at a meeting. I don't know if she's going to make it on or not. This is our team's normal team call night. So I thought we would incorporate sponsoring since we're really hitting sponsoring hard this month. Sponsoring is something that is a challenge for everybody. It's something that, it's one of those that the more you practice it and the more that you do it, you get better at it. So we're going to give you tools this month to really help strengthen those sponsoring muscles, to give you more confidence. A lot of it is confidence because people are nervous or afraid of the outcome, afraid to be told no. All those things we're going to really work on this month and push through those, because the other side of that is growing your team. The other side of that is changing people's lives. You know what you need to do already. Even we've got a couple people on here that are pretty new, and I can tell already in them that it's making a good impact in their life. So we can't be afraid of the opportunity, because the opportunity is life-changing. So we're going to talk about sharing it and just obstacles. So I think what I'll start out with is there were a couple of questions that people, like I asked people to post like challenges that they had or questions regarding sponsoring or advice. So if you guys want to maybe, if you have something specific, you can raise your hand and I'll try to go over that. And then
I've been talking to her. She missed it last year in February. She missed it.
Talking to us?
Am I on? I'm sorry.
She's like, it got really quiet all of a sudden.
I'm going to turn my audio off. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So does anyone have any questions or challenges that they want to talk about right now? Like just put your hand up and yes, Liz?
Wording.
Okay.
I need to switch it up, and I don't know what to say to people right now to try to get them to hook. I need a new hook.
Okay.
About the kit.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, and I saw someone in Perfectly Posh, because I posted this in that page as well, that someone had said that they were prospecting somebody, and someone was like, somebody from Younique already used that same line on me. So that's where we want to make sure that we're really trying to be original and that we're trying to be genuine. Like, you don't want to say the same thing to everyone, like, hey girl, you're so beautiful, you would rock, I guess that's the first time I've heard that. So when I saw that, I was kind of like, like we want to be genuine, and we really do have a great opportunity. And when you are prospecting them, you do see, that they could be great at this, and that this could, be a way for them to make extra money or get discounts on their makeup. So we'll talk a little bit about how to wording, but I think really if you really try to be genuine in it, and not so scripted, okay, I just saw this, just really real compliments. You know what, Cheryl, I know this sounds crazy, but you have the biggest following on Facebook. Every time you post something, everyone's liking and commenting on it. People just love interacting with you. I know this sounds crazy, but have you ever thought about doing what I do? I think you'd be really great at it. So instead of just being oh, you're beautiful, you should do this, really trying to connect with them. Yeah. So, and it's going to be different for everyone. And now you guys, our hostesses are the best people to prospect ever. Marika is on here, and she was one of my hostesses. I have sponsored a lot of my hostesses, and it's because they have tried the products, they love the products, and they are the best people to be presenters because they're already familiar with Younique. And so when you say, Marika, seriously, and I have people join all the time that their parties do $0. Don't feel like they have to have a rocking party to become a presenter. But hey, Marika, I know you love the products. Your friends enjoy seeing you talk about them or whatever. Have you ever thought about doing this? I really think you'd be great at this. You know, you're genuine. But I'm telling you, like, if we are not reaching out to hostesses, we're losing a big market. And even if they're like, no, I just want to continue to be a customer. Oh, that's fine. You know what? I know this isn't for everyone, but you know, if you know anyone who would like to make some extra money and get their makeup for free, send them my way. And I'll usually say, like, I give gifts for referrals, or I give the gift of lashes for referrals, something like that. And sometimes by saying, if you know anyone who needs to make or would like to make some extra money and get their makeup free and discounted, sometimes they are like, well, wait a minute. I would like to get some extra money, and they might reconsider, but you're planting that seed. And you'd be surprised. I think Lene did that recently, and she had some that was like, oh yeah, like, did you have someone actually come back with a referral?
They came back with a referral, and they actually, they had a couple people that they asked, but nothing actually ever came of it. But it worked because she automatically didn't end the conversation and kept it going. So
Right.
It was definitely something that I would encourage doing. Yes.
Right. So that it's not like that awkward, like, oh, she just said no to you, and then you're just like, okay, well, thanks anyway.
No.
And you feel awkward about continuing. And that's another thing. Whenever you prospect with someone and maybe they say, no, I'm not interested or whatever, don't stop going, stay consistent, write their name down, and every so often go on their page and like and comment on something. Continue that relationship, because first of all, we are in a friend collecting business. We do want to be having, these relationships with everyone, but also you would be surprised how many people tell you no now, and 6 months to a year later, they're still watching you and they're like, you know what, I think I am going to do this. So just because they say no once doesn't mean it's no forever.
Yeah.
Hey, Corinne, I just wanted to say to that, because I had posted yesterday to Corinne on my timeline, it came up that I was friends with Corinne for a year. And I was like, oh, that's so funny, because it took me like 4 months to finally say, you know what, maybe I will do this. I mean, I did not jump on it right away. I liked the makeup right away when I went to a party that she hosted, but it took me months before I decided I would do it.
See, another party hostess, you were a guest at a party, and then you hosted a party for me, and your party was so amazing. And she actually was like, her party was so big that it was like the big chunk I needed to earn the trip. So after your party, I earned the trip last year. I was just loving Marika, or Alyssa. I was just loving her.
Go take that cruise,
friends. I mean, but she still has, a great customer base. Her friends love the products. So what else? We'll go back into more wording and stuff. I've got a few things written down here, not to skip over. I hope that helped a little.
Let me add in real quick too. So I've been with Younique about 2 years now, and I am just now getting customers from people that have been following me for 2 years. Customers, not even. So I'm hoping within the next year or two that they're going to jump on board. If it took them that long to purchase something from me, I'm hoping after that they're going to jump on board with that. But sometimes it takes a while, but
I agree. And I think especially when you're newer in the journey, a lot of times people in the beginning, they're kind of like, oh, okay, I'm going to watch and see what you're doing with this. Like, they don't always take you seriously right away. You have to prove yourself. A lot of times they're like, because, honestly, there's so many direct sales companies. Direct sales is huge right now, which tells you something. We're smart. You know what? We're finding a way to make extra money and still be able to have our life. Direct sales is where it's at. But there's so many people doing it that people really are kind of, well, yeah, let's see how long she sticks with it. So that needs to be even more of a reason for you to stick it out. Be like, you know what? I'm going to give myself 1 year. Give yourself like a 1 year and be like, I'm going to work my hardest and really give it my effort for a year before you're just like, oh, it kills me when I see someone come in and do this a month or 2 months or even less, and then they just quit. They're like, it's not for me, but they didn't really give it a chance. You really got to get the momentum rolling. What other questions, y'all?
I found that another problem that I'm having is I'm friending people. I've been trying to do 10 people every day. But when we've done some of our blitzes. And then we go and we do another blitz, and I look back to see who I can message. I've messaged so many people that have never responded to anything that I feel like sometimes I'm running out of people really to message about it. And so that's where I'm having a hard time. How do you, I'm trying to pick and choose, and you say, well, message everybody. So then I go back and I go to people that I really feel like I'm really not going to hear from, but I'm really not getting any response from anybody. Not a yes, not a no, not a nothing.
What are you
So what do
saying?
you do when I see that I've already messaged them? I don't want to keep.
Is it about sponsoring or about like buying something? What is it about?
Sponsoring.
What are you saying?
It was, there was a couple different, scripts that I changed. One we did back at the beginning of last month, where we just like, hey, I've seen you and I think you would be so perfect for doing this. And I try to make it so it's personal. So how's your daughter? Or, it looks like you're doing good. And, I change it around. I don't try to copy and paste it, but I'm still not getting any responses. And if I do, they say, no, this is not for me. Or
Right. Have you guys tried voice messaging? That's something new that I do now because it's so much more personal. It's like, hey, Lissa, oh my gosh, your kids are getting so big, and I love that picture you posted yesterday of them at the park or whatever. I know this sounds crazy, but, I know you use the products, you love them. Have you ever thought about doing this? But just like the voice is just so much more personal, and I think a lot of people, again, it goes back to what you were saying, Liz, is that person that was like, someone already prospected me and gave me the same message. But I feel like if it's a voice message, you're able to be more personable, and it can be more genuine, than just like, oh yeah, did you just cut and paste that and send, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I had a little something that kind of actually almost ties in with Alyssa. I was going to ask, so I've been in this a little while, and I want to go ahead and, since we're doing this whole sponsoring thing, and do a new 100 list. Do you have any tips on how to pick a really good 100 list? Like I want to, not necessarily just customers, but I want to make people really interested in this. So what's a good way to pick a 100 list for us? And I think everybody could probably use this. So.
That's funny that you say that, because that's our task for tomorrow. Brittany and I have kind of teamed up, and we've got like some things we're going to sprinkle throughout the month. And a new 100 list is actually going to be your task for tomorrow. So you're ahead of the game, Deb. I will obviously give you a couple days to do that, but we're doing this because we're hitting sponsoring hard, and we are going to have a sponsoring blitz. And we will work on the wording and help you, but this will kind of help. Brittany was talking about this. What I would do is write down, names, go through. It might be past hostesses. It could even be people that maybe you prospected a year ago. Just write down their names. And what you can do is, beside each one, you can be like, would make a great presenter, loves the products, hosting party, because not everyone on there. You know what I'm saying? You might be like, well, I haven't reached out to her about the bundle, but just make that list. And if you're brand new, because I know you've made the list a couple of times, but if you're brand new, it's going to be people you went to high school with. Just think about people that, are in, that you are in communication with, that are in your child's class, or people from college, or people from church, different groups and circles that you're in. You're going to want to write their names down. And, one of the things that I was going to talk about is when you go to, it's not our job to decide if this is right for them or not, or if they're going to say yes or no. When you go to a restaurant and you order, they're going to ask you what you want to drink. They ask you if you want an appetizer. They ask you what you want for your main meal. And they always ask if you want dessert, right? So it's the same thing with us, is we can't predetermine whether someone's going to this is going to be right for them. Or like Alyssa, honestly, when I met you, I would have never thought that you would do this. Not because I don't think that you could, but I didn't think that you would be interested, honestly. I just thought you would be like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So the fact that you're doing it, and you're doing it awesome, is super exciting, because, you are definitely someone that I was more intimidated to ask. So that's the thing. I mean, and Deb, I always bring you up. Deb didn't wear, well, she wears makeup now, but she didn't wear makeup. But if I had let that keep me from saying, Deb, look, I know you stay at home with Grayson. I know that you guys need some extra money. I know this sounds crazy. I'm selling this mascara, because back then it was like really just the mascara. This mascara is awesome. You know, here's my card. Just look at it. But like, and Lene, I'm like looking at you guys. Lene, same thing. Like Lene and I were best friends, and then I moved and we lost contact over the years. But like she and I like hadn't talked in so like 20 years really. And like we reconnected because I reached out to her. I was like, you should be doing this. And like when she said okay, like I about fell out of my chair because I didn't but you see what I'm saying? Like I still reached out to people that I was like, she's totally gonna say no. But I didn't like let that stop me from reaching out. You know? So that's funny because there's 3 of you on here right now that, you know, I felt that way about. I was like, they're probably not going to say yes, but I'm just going to do it anyway because I got to mark them off my list, you know?
And here we are.
And Kelly, there's another one. So did that answer that question? I don't even remember what the question was.
It was about picking the 100, but we're going to be doing that tomorrow as a task. So
I think the biggest thing about sponsoring is making it a part of your daily life. So you want to be always listening. And I was watching one of Sherry Brown's videos that she made a really long time ago, just kind of refresh on things. And that's one of the things that she said is if you have your ears open, you're always, and your eyes open on Facebook, there's always going to be people giving you clues like, yeah, we just can't afford to do that right now. Or I've really liked my daughter to be in dance, but we just can't afford it. Or, you see it all the time. New moms having to go back to work and then posting pictures of their babies and they're like heartbroken that they have to go back to work. Those are like the perfect people to put on your list to like, you know, start building that relationship, connecting with them, and then introduce this opportunity, you know? So I think the listening for clues, money's tight. There's, you know, maybe it's someone that's already staying at home and they're going crazy at home with their kids. Woo, that was me. Oh, wait, that still is me, but I have Unique. Thank God. I have adult conversations throughout the day because of Unique. But listen and just look. People will post. They'll be like, anyone knows someone who's hiring part-time? I always jump on that and message them. Girl, I got a great place that's hiring, right? If I were to send you a short video about the opportunity, would you take a look? And that's where the next part comes in. Are you guys ready? Deb's already done hers. We're going to be making our Michelle, frank friends, relatives, yes, neighbors, kids. Yes, thank you, Michelle. Michelle is posting people that you want to put on your 100 list. We're all going to have our opportunity videos, and it's good if you can have it 3 minutes or less. And your video you want it to be, so what I would do is just brainstorm. Sit down and think about what do you love about Unique. Is it the mission? Is it that we get paid within 3 hours? Is it that they give us opportunity for trips, bonuses? We get $25. They give us YCash on our birthday. Think about the things that you're like, this company rocks. Write them down, and then you're going to do a really short video, and you want to you got to pull them in those first like 7 to 10 seconds. So you want to make it, you know, something upbeat, fun, that's going to kind of hook them in, and then you're going to talk about why you love Unique and why you think it's a great opportunity for everyone. And because whenever you are talking to someone, you want to be like, hey, if I sent you this short video, would you take a look? You want to have something that is going to give them a little bit more information, and then they're going to watch it, and then you're going to follow up and say, hey, Melissa, did you have a chance to check out that video? And she says, yes, I did. What did you like best? Don't ask what they thought, because right away they're going to come up with something. They might be like, well, I just don't know if I have the money. No. What did you like best about what you saw? What did you like best? Well, I think it's really cool that they pay you within 3 hours. Girl, I know that is like my favorite thing. It's so awesome to be able to like use that money within 3 hours. You know, I'd love to help you get started. So that is definitely having your own video is great, because people don't join Unique. They really join you, right? They're watching you. They've built relationship with you. They are actually joining you, primarily in Unique secondary. And all we do is 3 things in this business, and we do it over and over. We book, we sell, and we sponsor. And all of them are tied together. Booking parties is huge because you're going to get a lot of you're going to get your customers, and then you're also going to get future prospects in there between your hostess and people in the party that buy the products. I think another thing that's great to do, that I have not been doing this in my online parties, but I'm going to start implementing, is posting something about the opportunity during your beauty class. Because even if someone doesn't buy in there, if you post something, maybe it's like again, I said, a stay-at-home mom, or there's someone who's like looking for a part-time job, and they see that, and they see the kit, $360 worth of products, the $15 Y cash, $99, you might have someone completely that you never even talked to join. So I think posting in the parties is really big. And you have to have fun and be excited. You need to be present on your Facebook page. That's why we've had these tasks of posting at least 3 times a day. You want to be in people's news feeds. You want people, when they're looking in their makeup bag, that they're going to think about you. You want people to be following your journey. It's like turning on a TV channel. Oh, what's Alyssa up to today? You know, you want to be giving them something, and you need to give them the ability to get to know who you are. Because once they connect with you and they are seeing you more, and they're going to feel more comfortable first buying from you, and then also they're going to be like, you know what, I want to do that with her. She's doing so well. I know she could teach me to do well as well. Do good as well. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. Does anyone want to, any questions? You guys are all staring at me. Hi, Kelly.
I'm working on potential sponsor right now. Sorry.
Oh, good for you, Liz.
I have a question. And Corinne, like, you know, this has come up before. And trying to come up with like the verbiage or what to say back to people when they, I guess it comes down to the feel, felt, found type of response. But I think sometimes when people see you're successful with your company and everything like that, they feel like either one, they're like, well, if I don't do well, I'm going to let you down.
Yes.
Or or they think I can't do that because like, I don't know how to do that. So I always struggle with like how to talk to people and not let them be like intimidated by the fact that like, yeah, I'm going live on Facebook, and people thinking, oh my God, I got to do my makeup live on Facebook. Right. And be able to come across genuine and have people understand. And I mean, I'm trying to talk to people about that, but I feel like I still get kind of breaks on from people. They might feel too introverted or just not comfortable doing things like that, or they feel like that they have to be a certain way in order to be good at this.
Does anyone want to answer before?
The only thing I've said in the past, and not that I'm good at sponsoring at all, but the only thing I've said in the past about that is that, you know, it takes time, because I've had several people say that to me. Well, you're on all the time, or you're posting, or you're putting your face on there all the time. And my response is, well, yeah, but I didn't before. And I'm just starting to get sort of comfortable on my VIP group. And I went live for the second time ever on my main page tonight. And I was a nervous wreck, and my baby started screaming right in the middle of it. And you could hear him screaming, "Mommy!" and banging on the door in the middle of it. I was like starting to sweat. And it was just like, I got off of there as fast as I could. And everybody that was watching were my friends' husbands. And I was like, okay, this isn't going to work for me right now. So the only thing that I would suggest saying is, listen, it takes time. You're not expected to do it right away. You just work up to what you're comfortable with at your own pace, really.
Mm-hmm.
And Kelly, the Feel Felt Found, I really like that, because, you know, Feel Felt Found, if you haven't heard that before, it's when someone has an objection, you want to say something like, I completely understand how you feel. Feel Felt. I felt the same way before I got started, but what I have found is, so feel, felt, found. And it's just a really good way to connect with them, and it kind of breaks down the wall, and they're like, oh, you know, she understands me. So for something like that, Kelly, like you prospect someone, or you're talking to someone about the opportunity, and they're like, I just don't think I would be as successful as you, or, I don't know as much about makeup, and I definitely would never go live and do my makeup. Girl, I completely know how you feel. Like, I felt the same way before I got started. But what I've found is actually through doing this, most of what I've learned about makeup has been since I've been with Younique. And that's from seeing other presenters and from our team and from, watching other presenters' YouTube videos. Something to kind of like show them that you didn't walk in this like where you're at right now. Like we all start, baby steps, and we grow from there. And, help them to feel comfortable and let them know that that's why you're here, to help guide them, and they're not in this journey alone. I think a lot of people get really scared because they're like, gosh, I'm doing this alone. And I feel like that's the furthest from the truth. I really feel like we have a great sisterhood, and you're never alone. And if you have a question, there's always somebody to help you. Does that help at all, Kelly?
No, it does. I kind of wonder, like, I try to be honest with people, because, people say, well, do I have to, like, I don't see myself ever going live because I just don't, there's such like a shy person that who knows how long it would take them, and they'll be like, well, would I be able to be successful? And I try to like approach that in a logical way as possible, and be like, you don't have to do that, because I mean, gosh, Brooklyn, didn't she just say recently that she did her first live? And
yeah.
So I mean, it goes to show you, but I do like people to know, like, going into it, like, the more you can show part of yourself and your personality, the more people will want to gravitate towards you and what you're offering. So, it's like, I like to be honest with them, but I almost wonder if I'm scaring people off by saying like, well, it does help and everything, instead of, and then we're like, okay, well, never mind then. So I have to learn my boundaries when I talk to people sometimes, maybe my baby steps with people.
Right.
So that helps though.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
Of course.
So kind of think of it as like if you were to talk to your 2-year-old about the birds and the bees.
Oh my God.
Okay? So you're not going to tell your 2-year-old all of the details of the birds and the bees because they're not ready to hear it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I'm not ready
so
to
tell them what they're ready to hear,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll learn it along the way. Once they get, in our groups and they see the sisterhood and they see what's going on, they're going to get excited. Once they get their kit and they start like putting their makeup on, they're going to want to share it with people because that's what we do.
Right.
They're going to want to be like our like us, like their leader.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you're doing all of that, Kelly, that's awesome. You're doing fantastic. It's amazing. And they don't have to be just like you, but they're going to want to follow your lead that way. And so you don't have to tell them, it's not like you're lying to them saying, well, you don't have to do Facebook Live.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do that right now,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to say, well, eventually you're going to have to do it, because, you just say, well, you don't have to do that right now.
Right.
And, that's enough. Just like when you talk to a little kid about the birds and the bees, like little tiny bits are enough, or whatever else, adult things that you wouldn't talk to children about. So it's just like, think of it as a progression like that. They're just doing baby steps right now. So just to get their feet wet, just to, so you know what, you do great selfies. You don't have to do, a Facebook Live. Your selfies are amazing, or whatever it is,
Michelle, you're so good at this stuff.
Yeah, I think that's really a great response.
Yeah, it is. Totally. Thank you.
Janine had her hand raised earlier, and Janine, can you hear us? Do you want me to unmute you? All right, Janine, I unmuted you.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Janine.
Hi. Wait 1 second. Oh my God. I'm not on video.
I
right.
can invite you to be on video.
Lord, I'm so sorry you have to see me like this. But anywho, can you hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, all right. I've had some. Kelly knew when I joined that I wasn't on Facebook very much. So I was a flight attendant. I did all these, I got into Facebook a lot, and I pretty much dropped off the face of the earth when I started dating my boyfriend. Because I didn't want people in my business. Now I have a lot of support from my family, and then and my friends, but I have other people that are watching, and I sort of got quiet again with Facebook. So I unfriended them. I'm trying to figure out how, like, I'm very frustrated about being on Facebook, and I'm trying to grow, and my area is really, really small. So I'm at the point where I want to know what else I can do other than Facebook. Is that like, should I just do messaging? I don't want to talk about the fact that I'm doing Unique right now because I can't until I have
Why?
conversations with people. Yeah.
What about other social media?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
What,
Instagram. Janine, it's okay. Don't let them tear you down. It's not worth it. You know where
so
you want to be. You know your direction. You know where that light is. They're trying to take that from you. Don't let them. This is your life. This is your direction. This is where you want to go with things.
He is very supportive, so it's
Exactly.
not.
No,
So,
I know that. But you need
so
to,
I should just go for it and just forget it and not worry about it.
yeah. Because I mean, the thing is, and I know it's not the same thing, but like when I first joined Unique, 2 years ago, and I wasn't going back to work because I had Elena, and I got a lot of negative feedback from all my coworkers. A lot of them were like talking heinously about me. They're like, so what? She can't come back to work, but she's going to do this. She's not going to be successful. And I know it's not the same line, Janine, but these were people that like I was really close with for like 10 years. We had all worked together. And they unfriended me. They talked bad about me. I go by to the office to see them and everything. And they would talk behind my back. And it was kind of hurtful. But the interesting thing is, like, a year later, one of them that was like kind of very, very negative more than the rest of them friended me back and actually added herself to my group page. And I was like, wow, she didn't say anything. She just did that. And I was like, okay. And then every once in a while, she would comment on things. So, if you show positivity in your life, either the negative people, they're going to want to dismiss you, or they may still talk about you, but in a negative way. But the more positive you show, it's going to drive them away because they don't want to be around that positivity, or maybe you might reach them and they might be like, you know what, she's on to something. And it doesn't have to be, oh, she's on to something, I want to do what she's doing. It could be like, maybe she's on to something. Maybe I should give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she's more than I thought she was. And whether they end up, backing you up or anything like that, but maybe they will not be so negative towards you. Because you can't let people like this dictate your life to you. Because all you are doing is putting yourself in a prison, and they won. They let your life be what they wanted your life to be, not what you wanted your life to be.
Now, I have to say one thing with me leaving my job. I had women come down. I had women and men at the courthouse, attorneys, judges, everybody in the courthouse. People that didn't even get along with me were coming down and hugging me and wishing me well and saying, please keep in contact with me. I would love to, like, do you have Facebook? Oh, yeah, I do my business on Facebook. Oh, great. I would love to learn more about it. And I would tell them, like, I was telling other people about the foundation and everything, and I was, like, building up. My family's positive, my job is positive, but then there's those couple of people. And I think back and I listen to all you girls that have said, don't let those people, you're going to get people that are going to leave your group. You're going to get people that are going to knock you down. Don't let them get to you.
You're going to have people in your own family that are extremely hurtful to you.
I know. And you know, when that happened, when you said that and you said you had a really bad day and you told me, you know, Barry is so supportive of you. And really, honestly, Corinne, what's in your house is the only thing that matters.
Right.
I mean, they are your family, but they do not judge how you are living.
Right.
And your children and your husband and you have your own life.
Right.
Nobody is involved in it. And I have to keep reminding myself of that.
Yeah.
But after that happened to you the other day, it kind of, so I guess you guys posting on my page kind of pushed me a little bit. Maybe you were doing that on purpose. I don't know. But you kind of pushed me a little bit to, you know, share. So thank you.
You know, I just would hate for you to look back 6 months, a year down the road and be like, what if I had just pushed through and ignored? Because I mentioned briefly what happened to me, and then right after I hit my promotion, there was some hurtful stuff that went on in my family, like very unsupportive, and it went in my heart, and there was a moment where I was like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, and that, you know, it took me a little bit to push through that and be like, no, I cannot, you know, I can't let their opinions on what I'm doing, because then my husband and my children are my why.
Right, exactly.
What's in this house is my why, and they are why I get up every morning and I stay up late and I keep pushing through even when I maybe don't want to push through anymore. We all have those days.
Right.
So I appreciate you being open and transparent. Thanks. And knowing that you've got great sisters.
Yes, I do.
You know, there's haters out there. There, you know, and a lot of times, and I've heard it from a lot of people that hit black status, they almost always get attacked by somebody. It's something inside of them that they can't stand that you are doing something and making a change in your life. And it's sad, but it happens. Right. We've got to grow thick skin and come to a wise sister, cry about it. Kelly, I've confided in her. You know, I've vomited on her, and she was my voice.
Vice versa.
You know? So find somebody that you can do that with, and that's the great thing. We can all relate, and, you know.
Yeah.
So that's something that you can almost go into when it comes to sponsoring. You know, if somebody's in a rough place with things and they feel like they need, because, you know, we all know that this opportunity is great for so many reasons, but it may not be about money for some people. It might be about, you know, needing that support system for whatever's going on in their life. And
I've said that to people too, because I've noticed that, Kelly, that there are a lot of people out there that need someone to connect with, you know.
Right. I almost wonder, like, Corinne, do you think that, I don't know how long it's been, but do you think it's worth doing an opportunity group again, or?
We do still have the opportunity group going. I need to get in there and clean it up and get consistent in there. I've been posting like twice a month in there, but people are still being committed to it. So,
yeah, people are.
I'll put that on my to-do list to get some posts in mind, and then I will post in our team pages to remind people that if they have someone who's on the fence, that you can add them to that group. And we're in there to answer questions, and there's like a lot of great posts and videos, but I'll see if I can clean that up here this week. Because that is a good place. Okay, so I'm going to move forward because I want to be conscious of everyone's time. I only have a couple other things, and then we'll see what questions and if you. So there's a book called Go for No, and the whole theory behind Go for No, it makes it fun, whether you're trying to get some sales or whether you are trying to grow your team. But what you're doing is you set a goal for yourself. Like, let's say you set out on the week and maybe your goal is 20, right? So your goal is, I am going to keep asking until I get 20 no's. So you're probably looking at me like, that's crazy. I don't want to hear no, I want to hear yes. Well, the whole point about that is statistically 1 in 10 people are going to say yes, okay? So for every no you get, you're getting close to yes. But if you make it a game and you're looking for no, when you hear no, it's not so like devastating and like, oh my gosh, they they rejected me, which, by the way, when you hear no, it's not about you. It's about them. And I think that's hard for us sometimes, and we're scared to even ask, because if we hear no, how is it going to make us feel? But if we remember, it's not personal at all. But having that, like, go for no, it's really fun. Has anyone done that before? I know Michelle's done it. I think Kelly's done it. But go for no. Like, seriously, set a goal for yourself and be like, okay, I'm going to make my 100 list, and this week I'm going to reach out to 20 of them, or I'm going to go for 20 no's. Guarantee you're going to get a yes or two along the way, or a very highly interested, I want more information. So that's
The other thing
no.
about going for no is that a lot of times, like it was brought out earlier, that people don't respond. Okay, so let's say you're going for 10 no's a day. Okay, and so you send out 10 messages. Well, maybe 5 of those people don't respond. That means you have to send out 5 more messages to get your 5 more no's that you need. Like, if you know what I mean? Like, so
Right.
That's another thing. It kind of pushes it kind of changes your bar based on that sort of thing. And like you said, sometimes it's not just about messaging, it's about connecting. Sorry, I was on mute before.
It's about what?
It's about connecting with people.
Right.
You know, it's not just the messaging part of it, it's the connection. And
Right.
so even if you do get the no, your no is a connection. And when somebody says no, rather than saying, okay, well, have a nice day, say, what if there was one thing that you could pinpoint that's going to hold you back, what do you think it would be? For some people, it's the $99. For some people, it's the intimidation factor of having to go on Facebook. For some people, it's a time thing. So when somebody says no, don't just dismiss it as, oh, they said no, but then move on and figure out why they said no, because that helps you be educated about them, build a relationship with them, but also be prepared for the next person that says no.
That's good. That's really good. I like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Lene. Don't attach the outcome. Yeah. And I used to get so mad when people would read my message and not respond. I would just get so mad. Gotta let it go. A lot of people are just, they don't want to say no, so they ignore your message. But
It drives me crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Drives me insane.
I know.
Insane.
Just keep moving forward, because I promise you, if it's a numbers game, you guys, 1 in 10 statistically. So keep moving. You're gonna get it.
I will say too, even if they ignore you, you'll realize that they start following you more.
Yeah.
Even just reaching out, like whether it works for them or not, you've planted that seed. So they might be ignoring you, like from your message, but they're truly not ignoring you. They start spying and like thinking, their wheels start spinning like, okay, you planted that seed and it may germinate. So, you know, it used to bother me, but now I'm like, haha, now I know you're stalking me.
So along that line, someone talked about fear of rejection, and one of the things they said, what are your challenges? Fear of being rejected. Well, I want you to think about, what is the worst thing that would happen if they say no? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Your feelings are going to get hurt for a minute, right? But that's where you have to disconnect from the outcome, right? We have to just be like, go into it and like, I need someone to tell me no today, because gosh darn it, I have to get 10 no's. Go into it and not be connected to the outcome. And if you remember, it's not about you, it's about them. And they're not personally, and it's hard because you feel like they're personally like, no, I can't stand you, I'm not doing this with you. That's not what they're saying at all. They're not saying that. They're just saying, like Michelle, it could be no, but maybe they don't have the money, or maybe they don't think they'd be successful. So try to don't be worried about what the outcome is.
And I think in a lot of cases, people are kind of, I've been getting it more like within the past year or so. Like when I approach people about it, I approach them like, especially for me, because I've been doing this for so long. And for those of us who have been doing it for a little while, you can tell them, I've been able to see what success looks like. And I feel like you have that potential. And so people kind of take that as like, okay, wow, that's a compliment, and they're actually very flattered, whether they have an excuse or reason that it's not going to work for them at that time. And I've had plenty of girls that like, I said that to them and it took them like 6, 7, 9 months, but they ended up joining eventually because, when you when you approach somebody about something that you feel they have a lot of ability to be successful, that right there in itself is like you're telling them such a great compliment. And if you come across as being genuine about it, then, you know, people are going to respect you for it.
Right. Did you see what Janine wrote? Audra said
Yeah.
she stalked me on Facebook after I started, but she always told me that she couldn't do what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, you know, again, you're planting seeds. So if they say no, that doesn't mean no forever. I'm just going to end with one more thing and see what questions you guys have or what direction you want to go. But the 3 C's is really great, but we really want to work on genuine, like we started the conversation talking about when you're prospecting, that you really want to be genuine in how you approach them. But the 3 C's is crazy, compliment, confidence. For example, you see your friend, and seriously, and this is another thing, you want to always have your eyes and ears open. So if you see a girl in your newsfeed post an awesome picture, like a great selfie, compliment her. Like that is a great time to prospect her because she's going to be flattered. You know, we go into it thinking, well, what if she says no? I guarantee regardless, she's going to be like, wow, like she's going to be flattered that you reached out to her. So, hey, Jennifer, oh my gosh, that selfie you just took, you have the best selfie skills or whatever. I'm trying to think of this off the cusp, but seriously, girl, that selfie you just posted, you have like amazing selfie skills. So I've complimented her. I know this sounds crazy, and you're saying that to help kind of break down the wall. So she's already prepared. You're about to say something crazy. But if I were to, but have you ever thought about doing Younique, or have you ever thought about doing what I do? I think you would be really great at this. So you're complimenting her, you're saying crazy, and then you're giving her confidence, letting her know that you know that she could do it. But kind of using that, and again, I think we need to really be genuine and make it personal for each person. But I've done that. There's been plenty of times we all see a really great selfie come through our newsfeed, and you're like, seriously, they really should be doing this. Like, if you can post, and they get like 50 comments on it. Are you kidding me? That lipstick you're wearing, you'd be selling like 15 of those today. You know, it's true. So that's all I have. What questions do y'all have? Anyone still have any concerns? Was this helpful at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to have more tools throughout the month. So this wasn't like you have to be on here and you're going to know everything, and tomorrow you're going to be like sponsoring 10 people. This is just to kind of those fears and those challenges, and we all have them. I was, like I said, I watched one of Sherry Brown's, and that's another thing. Go on YouTube and look up some leaders that you like, and they look up search for sponsoring under their name, and they're going to have sponsoring videos, and see what they do, because everyone's different. And one person's style might not work for you, but another person's might. But look at these videos. There's Sherry Brown. I just love her because she's just funny, and she's great. And she's Black Status Level 2, so she's doing something right. So I completely lost my train of thought. She's great. Follow her. But, it's the same thing. It's a muscle. You just have to keep practicing. Oh, and she says sponsoring is hard for everyone. She's like, sponsoring is hard for everyone. Even people that we've got some people that have sponsored like 500 people or tons and tons of people a month. In the beginning it was hard for them. It's not like they woke up and they were great at it. You just have to keep practicing.
One of the things that I've been taking a personal development workshop, and one of the things that was brought up there is that in order to get any result, it doesn't matter what you're trying to do, you have to do courageous, imperfect action. CIA. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, anything. It just has to be action, and just do it. And you need the courage to do it most of the time. So courageous and perfect action is something that I've been, I just think about regularly. And just a quick share, I know we're running out of time, but I have a girl that I prospected she was a cashier at the liquor store. And then I ran into her today. She switched jobs. She's a cashier at a light bulb store. And
Oh, wow.
so I was talking to her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I know you, but I forgot your name. And I friend requested her right at the cashier shop when she was in the liquor store. So I said, I forgot your name. She's like, Olivia. I'm like, that's right. And she spells it with an A, not an O. So I was like, Olivia with an A. And she's like, yeah. And so I said to her, I said, what's going on? And I kind of followed up with her because I prospected her. We talked back and forth. And then she just kind of dismissed me and then stopped getting back to me. And she's like, I still follow your stuff. I see all your videos. She's like, one day, like it was kind of funny because I thought she fell off the face of the earth, but she still is watching all my stuff. So one day she'll be a unique presenter, but
That's
just
awesome.
not today.
And that I love that you did that. I have not done that in a long time, but when you're having a conversation with someone like that, be like, and you connect, hey, are you on Facebook? Yeah, I am. If I friend request you and do it right there. And then go home and send them a message so they start seeing your stuff in your feed. Like, hey, it was great meeting you today. So that's really good.
It like makes an impression on people when you do that, and then you don't stalk them, but you go and you like comment on something, or you like I don't even comment at first. First I just start kind of liking their pictures, if they're sharing something or their kids or whatever it is, I'll just like them, and then after a while I'll start commenting just to like build, because I don't want them to think I'm stalking them.
Right.
But
You don't want them to think you're doing what you're doing.
yeah, it's funny, but they stalk us.
True. That's true.
They end up stalking us if we show a little bit of interest. And that's really what people are looking for most, is the connection.
That's funny. What else? I'm looking at my notes. So we're going to do a sponsoring blitz this month. So we'll be announcing the 100 list tomorrow. So start working on your list, work on your video, your 3-minute or less opportunity video. Deb did a great one, and we posted it in Boss Babe this morning. And she touched on all the things that are important to her. So just sit down and reflect on what you love about this company. Make it fun. And remember, have fun and be excited. Even when you're posting on Facebook, even those days when you don't feel it, fake it. Fake it, because people are attracted to that, and they want to join someone who's positive and fun. So you want to make sure that you're always portraying that on Facebook. That you are fun and that you are positive, even if you don't feel you are. When I first started this, I was a super negative person, and I'm getting better. But if you look at my personal page, I look super positive.
You seem like the most positive person ever, Corinne.
Well, I think I'm starting to turn into what I'm like trying to be. You start to become that.
If you speak it long enough.
Hi, Benny Amino. I see you. So yes. Kelly Sussman. Anything else y'all wanna? I'm gonna stop the recording. Oops, whoops! I almost canceled the meeting on you guys. Sorry.